This is my journal where I have documented the last 3 years of my life. In this video, I want to talk about how it helped me, the different ways of journaling that actually work, and how it can help you on your journey. My inspiration to start journaling goes way back to when I was a kid. I knew that a lot of great figures in history, like Ernest Shackleton, Marcus Aurelius, they all kept journals. Also a lot of explorers, as they have been exploring oceans and climbing mountains. That has inspired me a lot, and I wanted to do like them. I wanted to be like them. Unfortunately, I have no ocean to cross or mountain to climb, but I believe many of us have our own challenges, our own mountains that we are dealing with. For me, it has been moving to a different country, changing jobs twice, and then actually buying a house and settling down. All of that in a different country. Having a journal was a very stable point in all of that. So what is the right way to journal? Well, there isn't one, and everybody has to find their own right way to journal. And that applies to the frequency of when you want to write, how you write, the medium in which you write, the language, even the format, everything you can set for yourself. But I would like to show you some ways that a lot of people are using, and also my special way of what I have found to work for me. One way that a lot of people journal is called daily journaling. And as the name says, that means you write every day and you write about the events that happened in that specific day. And while that works for a lot of people, I also tried it, but it didn't work for me. I went back to writing once a week or twice a week. What I see is that most days for most of us are repetitive. I mean, most days I get up, I go to work, I work, come home, do the chores. I don't see a benefit in writing that every day. For me, the reflection is more important, and that's what a journal is for. And frankly speaking, I don't have the time and space every day to reflect. Another great way that a lot of people journal is called gratitude journaling, and that means writing down the things that you are thankful for. And I think this is a very important and very useful way of journaling, because I realize that in this world with social media, we see every day a lot of images of people that we follow, and a lot of them are filtered and edited and curated. Frankly speaking, it's not a true image, but we can't help but compare ourselves to these people. And of course, that comparison can result in anxiety and depression and generally the feeling of not keeping up with others. By writing down what you're grateful for, writing down the good things in your life, it kind of highlights those areas and makes it easier to realize those areas and realize that your life is actually good and there's a lot of good value in your life. And by that, offsetting the negative effects of social media. And while I do incorporate some gratitude journaling into my journaling, to me it didn't work fully, because in my mind, gratitude journal and being thankful for something also means that you are thankful to somebody for those things. And while I do realize the many things in my life that are great, and I do realize that I'm very fortunate to have the opportunities and the access to those opportunities that I have, but I don't want to take away the responsibility in that, because yes, it's great to have those opportunities, but it was me who showed up, put in the hard work, put in the smart work, and took the risks, and that has resulted in me getting to the point where I am now. I want to recognize my own responsibility and my own effort in doing those things. My way of journaling is what I call the captain's log, and it's about how I navigate through life towards the point where I want to be, and eventually meet challenges, but then coming up with a plan and overcoming those challenges. I write once or twice a week, mostly about the things that are bothering me, what my challenges are, and what my plans are to overcome those challenges. This method could be great for the more control freak people like me. I have found that by writing down the chaos, it has given me a sense of control over that chaos. I can control that if I can write it down, if I can name it. So what are the benefits of journaling? One of the greatest benefits of journaling, as I have seen, is that you can keep track of the important things in your life, and you can keep track of the things that are important to you. For me, for a long time, that challenge was money. So what I was tracking was how much money we have each month, what our budget looks like, how much money I expect to make, what our plans are for overcoming those challenges. You see, moving to a different country is a really stressful thing financially. We have blown a lot of money just to move, and we have used up most of our savings and bet a lot on a new job, a new country. So by writing down all of that chaos and coming up with a plan, it gave me a sense of control, and it kept me in check and highlighted the progress that I was making in that sense. Now, of course, if your challenge is something else, then you can write about that challenge and track how you stand when it comes to that specific thing. And also, now that we have purchased the house, the money challenge is over, my challenge is also turning into other things, but the format has kind of stayed. So it's the destination, the plan, the challenge, and the overcoming. I find that there's also something about writing by hand, at least for me. There is something about your hands being hardwired by neurons into your brain and then using those muscles, and that kind of engages your brain in a more deeper level, which helps you to reflect better on the things that you are writing. I also like that by writing by hand, it slows me down just the right amount, that I have the time to think about what I'm writing and actually formulate the thoughts. While if I were on a keyboard, I could be typing really fast, but my thoughts don't really follow as fast as I can type. Now, most people find it difficult to get started, and it was the same for me. Probably due to social programming, it is difficult to write about emotions for men. I think society expects us to be emotionless in certain ways. And so when I was writing and I started my journal, I also felt that my writing is sort of distanced from myself. It was very factual. But as I got into it, I have eased up and I learned to write about also emotions and write about insecurities. And that has helped me to learn more about myself. But it also helped me to recognize the struggle. Because you see, we usually forget about the struggle and only remember the good things, right? This is where nostalgia comes from. But by skipping the struggle, you omit the things that you have overcome. If you had struggle and you document that, you write about it, and then you write about how you overcame the struggle, now you have this evidence of you, with your own power, overcoming a struggle. And that's really, really empowering, because that highlights the power that you have inside you. So that was the way that I journal and how my journal helped me along the way in these last 3 years. I hope you found this interesting, and I hope you found this useful, and I hope that many of you will be inspired to start journaling, and it will empower you to reach new things. Let me know in the comments what challenge you want to overcome by journaling. Do you have a favorite method? Share it with me in the comments. I thank you for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one.